feel temptation and the urge is very strong. Give a little whistle. Give a little... Wrong, Cricket.
They're gonna give a little copyright.
It's so juicy.
Thank you for supposed on Patreon. You guys are fantastic. And also, publish an official Twitter account because there's 5,000 of you beautiful stupid babies there, and you help me out a lot. But today we're reacting to a cricket video, but it's a Sachin cricket video. It's called Sachin, the Best Innings compilation. I think it's like almost a documentary, short documentary. I think I could be totally wrong. We've only reacted to Sachin's film.
Correct.
Sachin Billion Dreams.
The trailer.
A long time ago.
Trailer.
This is actually about the player. And so since we're learning a lot about cricket and going to a cricket game, look out for that. But here we go. Because he's known as the god of cricket.
That's what they tell us.
Here we go.
Legends of cricket!
In his homeland, he enjoys a near godlike status. Great players hail him as a batting genius. He is intelligent and handsome, yet decency and humility are his watchwords. Still one of the finest batsmen in the world today. Sachin Tendulkar is one of ESPN's legends of cricket.
Sachin.
You want to pronounce it right, that's for sure.
March 1994. On a seaming wicket, Sachin Tendulkar was promoted to open the batting in a one-day international against New Zealand. He made 84 from 49 balls.
As they're all getting to their feet for one of the great one-day innings you'll ever see.
Tendulkar will go down certainly in Indian history, I think, as probably their best player. And there have been some very good ones, but this modern Indian generation where they've been able to see him play all his cricket on television, I think will result in him being remembered forever.
And he's going through the covers again, and that's another four. Where can this man happen? He can hit.
I like how I understand what's happening now.
Child prodigy. I think he's one of those very few great players who started off looking special. You know, at the age of 14, 15, anybody who saw him realized that he was a child prodigy, and he never let anybody down. You know, we had huge expectations when we saw him the first time, and Indian expectations can be quite, you know, heavy and sometimes could be a little impractical as well.
Athletes don't live up to the expectation when they're found young.
And look at that, just straight down the pitch. This man is a wonderful player, and we're seeing the best of him today.
I like those jerseys. Like throwback, you always be like throwback days, right? Beautiful shot. Oh,
wow.
Tendulkar's technique is the benchmark for modern batsmen. Don Bradman believed that he was the closest one to himself.
That's exactly where he wanted that to go.
The best way to sum up Tendulkar's technique is to go back to what Sir Donald Bradman said about him. And that is that when Bradman was watching him bat one day and he said to his wife, "Come and have a look at this bloke bats like me." And he was talking about Tendulkar.
I think he's the most complete batsman of his age and perhaps of all time, because he scored runs against every kind of bowling, everywhere in the world, every situation, all kinds of pitches, and that's something you can't say about everybody in the world.
Oh, hello. What a smashing shot.
I think he's the best player in the world today, without a shadow of doubt. A small man you see like Bradman, but his football,
I was just going to say, great name.
Tremendous, so much time in which to play the ball, and again, as I said about all greats, tremendous balance, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Woo!
Tendulkar is close to being the most perfect batsman one has ever seen. His back left is straight, his balance is unbelievable, he can play off either foot, he can play on either side, and again, that ability that separates, the men from the boys, the ability to hit the good ball for boundaries or sixes.
Great shot. Absolutely smashed it to the boundary.
Could be very close, he's given it.
Tendulkar also influences the game with his skillful bowling and athletic and accurate fielding.
So he's the complete all-around
He
player.
devastates bowlers and dominates games.
That's a crashing shot through extra cover.
Sachin as a batsman is just, you know you're watching someone special. You know that you're photographing someone who will only come along, say once every 100 years.
He brought a new dimension to Indian cricket. You had a Gavaskar on the one hand who grind bowlers out and who brought a lot of pride for us as a world-class batsman. But suddenly here was someone who's taking attacks apart. And I think Tendulkar was a product of his generation. He came in when India was a prouder nation, India as a nation had greater self-belief. And he came in at a time when India was looking for that kind of hero.
Oh, what a shot. Kaur stand up in the port. A beautiful on drive.
Charging and playing it over mid-wicket.
This incredible star. Sometimes they say the stock market would gone up, but that's Sachin's performances.
No, it's like it's almost like
the whole Indian
in terms of
population,
you have to
wanting him to succeed.
Split second
and
decide
going
where
around with that on
placing
his
this.
shoulders for 20 years. That is, the most amount
or
of
even
pressure,
tennis.
Cricket
the
can
speed
seriously
at which
have
it's
on
coming at you,
his
you have to
shoulders.
make a decision about where you're going to
Everyone
place
would
it.
just say,
put a spin on
he's
it.
been the most phenomenal technician, but the hunger and drive and passion the guy has had to have that longevity.
Also very humble, I hear too.
Wow! He's in for another one.
Yeah, wow.
Was that on ESPN?
Yeah, it said it was an ESPN thing. Two things that come to mind immediately when they talked about the expectations since they knew when he was 14. It was like, here's this 14-year-old kid. Reminds me of when they were talking about LeBron in the NBA. Because they started talking about LeBron when he was playing high school, and they already had anointed him like he's going to be the next Kobe, the next MJ.
Hard to live up to that. I mean, he did.
And he did. I mean,
he did.
And it's also, it's like, having to replace, I mean, this isn't really comparable, but when you have to step into the shoes of somebody like a Joe Montana, right? Like Young did. It's when those kinds of expectations are on you, most of the time people don't live up to the expectations.
It's like Aaron Rodgers, lived
Something happens. Ken Griffey Jr. had tons of injuries in baseball.
There was actually a kid in soccer in the MLS. I don't believe he's actually from the United States though. He was a prodigy of soccer. He was 14 years old.
Right.
And he was going to be like the next Pele.
Right.
And he was good, but then he kind of just fizzled out, didn't live up to the hype.
Yep. Happens more often than not. It happens they don't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
And apparently he exceeded the hype. And the other thing
now
too,
the
that
god of cricket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the other thing too that we're learning about cricket compared, because I've said this before on other reactions we've done to cricket, that my sport growing up, so I could hold things, my dad put a baseball in my hand. So I played, baseball was my high school sport, it was my college sport, and I know every little nuance. I can watch a hitter and I can tell, like if I'm watching the Yankees and Aaron Judge is swinging and his swing is off and he's striking out, I can tell what he's doing with his swing based on his hand position on the bat, what he's doing with his right shoulder, if he's rotating his hips. I'm now nowhere near remotely close to that with this, but this has so much more going on because your options of where you're going to swing and where the ball's going to go are infinitely more complex. Because in baseball, the pitcher's got to put it in the strike zone.
Yeah.
And if it's not in the strike zone, you're not swinging. Not like this. This is pretty much everywhere this freaking thing goes.
Okay, you swing back and you hit it over there.
Wherever this thing goes, I'm going to hit it. And not only am I going to have to make contact, I mean, baseball players do this too. A good baseball player is going to know, I got runners in scoring position, I don't want to force play, I want to hit it to the right side to at least move the men over, or I want to hit a fly ball so they can tag up. So they can place the ball. And there's a great story of Rod Carew from the Angels. The catcher's talking to him while he's hitting, and the catcher's trying to mess with his head and says, where are you going to put this, Rod? And as the pitch comes in, and as he's swinging, he says, I'm going to put it in right, and he hits it to right field. But this, like, I remember when we were in the cage, it's totally antithetical to baseball swinging.
Yeah.
Because the ball could be coming at you, and you've got to hit it somewhere. It could go behind you.
You also have to protect the wicket.
Right. The ball could be coming behind you, and it could be coming behind you, but there's a spin on it, and it's actually come back toward you, and you've got to think, and you can see, he's like, okay, in a millisecond, I'm going to put this over to the right, and I'm going to put it right between these two guys who are standing about a meter apart from each other.
Yeah. And they also say there would be no MS Dhoni without Sachin.
him. Right. I've heard that as well.
And those are the two that I've heard of,
the
legends, greats.
The legends.
And there's of course many others. But those are the two that but they say that MS Dhoni wouldn't be here without what Sachin did for the game of cricket in India.
Right.
So that's crazy. I want to know, because we've seen Lagan. I want to know what other cricket movies we should do now. Should it be Sachin A Billion Dreams, or should it be the MS Dhoni,
the MS Dhoni one?
Told Story?
Right.
I think there was a South Indian one as well.
And I'm sure there's others we don't know, so enlighten us, stupid family. Tell us what we should watch, because I'd love to watch more of them, want to learn more about the sport.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed Lagan, of course.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it did teach us quite a bit.
It did. It helped quite a lot. I understand more of it now. Like, when it's rolling out of bounds, and I was like, oh, that's 4 points. That's I know that. Yep, I'm so smart.
So it actually makes me feel like I would know what I'm going to watch if we went to a game.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine what it would be like
if we ever went?
Imagine if we could see India play. Wow!
Like if they were ever coming to the United States, that'd be crazy.
They would never do that.
No.
They'd probably go someplace stupid like Florida.
Yeah, probably.